Well, here we are back in the Mazda, trying to get a few more little points, trying to get things properly. Get some proper points if we can.
Laps.
Not sure that we're in the right place to do that.
Trevor. Nice and neat, stay out of trouble.
Oh, I still haven't fixed that clutch and got that happening. Got to do that, because standing start off the brakes not a good move. But anyway.
Right.
We've got a few fast charges here. See what happens? The rejoin. Every time the rejoin.
It's the repairs.
Every time. Honestly, when you're rolling back onto a track, put your foot on the brake. Anyway, I suppose I should say something. Not too sure what happened there, but ended up in all sorts of trouble. He ended up rolling back on us and creating some real angst. So, but we've got a lot of time to kill here. So we might just jump out and see what we can see around. See who's doing what. I don't really want to look at the replay. I saw what happened there and ended up in all sorts of trouble. So that was our leader. So Brad Wiggins, I'm not too sure where he's come from, but geez, quick. He's leading quite well at the moment. I think he's leading anyway. I'm still being towed. Car number 3, position 8. I'm not going to be in such a good position, that's for sure. But anyway, it is what it is. It's my own fault for coming in here. I've been waiting all day, working in and out the back of the house and certain areas, and every time I come in to have a bit of a look to see whether I can pull off a race, there's nothing happening. This one came up, jumped into it late, and now it's just going to cost me so much.
I'll let you pass, Brad.
Anyway, probably cost me more if I retired out and forfeited. So we'll just sit, do this. We'll have to get some new tyres while we're at it. And this is not going to look well. I will put it up though, because this is how the week goes sometimes.
That's it, go!
And sometimes it's just the fault of other people and not your own fault. So we're back on cold tyres. Thanks, Jim. I really need that nice little reminder that I'm running last. I wish you'd also recognise that I'm running last, not because of my own silliness, but because of the silliness of somebody else. So the leader's still getting along very quickly. It's Baldwin now, and 48's. It's pretty slick around here.
There's an incident in last corner.
Absolutely no way of catching them. So my whole plan at the moment would be to just drive hard, go as fast as I can possibly go. So Sexton's just had an incident by the sound of it. He's the next car in front of me. I'm on an outlap and we're trying to push it as well hard as we can without chucking it into the wall. I'll have to try and find another one to get in to try and pick up some of the loss that we're going to have here. It's still the Mazda though, it's still a lot of fun. Not a very big field, so it'll be a low strength of field. In fact, 0.8 is not flash. I think that's one of the pieces of information we should be given before we come into a race, so that we can get a bit of a feel as to what we could expect. If it's going to be a low strength of field, and depending on what it is we're going into the race, it'd be nice to know. In this situation, I would have not entered if I knew it was such a low strength of field. Now, I'm not knocking people for having a lower safety rating and that sort of thing. We all learn somewhere, and of course we all have bad weeks, i.e. my start to this race. Nobody else's fault but the guy that allowed his car to roll back onto the racetrack in front of everybody, and then I got belted up by those behind as well when I was trying to find a way clear. So we're well in the red with iRacing, and it's not something that I'm really concerned about. I've got 4 incident points, so I won't be wanting any more of them, as I'll be hoping to do some reasonably good laps and stay out of trouble, stay between the lines, as Jim would keep telling me, and try and make some ground. But being so far back now, we're not likely to find too much. But anyway, why am I doing this? Well, if you're a newbie to my little feed, and it's not got a lot of people with me at the moment, it's starting to grow, it's starting to look okay. Well, I'm trying to get back to an A-class license. A couple of years ago, probably about COVID, just before COVID, we started to have a lot of newbies coming in, and I had a bit of time up my sleeve, and I was going into every oddball race that I could.
That's a new fastest lap for
And it was just for a bit of fun.
There's an incident in.
But what it did was it took me away from that A-class license, and I ended up in all sorts of trouble, and ended up back to, I think,
Looks like it's
D or a C. It wasn't fun. So then COVID hit, and to be blatantly honest, it was the worst time to be on the iRacing sim. It just, every man and his dog was there. They didn't care. They were there because they were locked up at home and unable to get out. So I had a lot of incidences that created some problems. So I just did a lot of practices, some club races, and stayed away from the official stuff for a long time. Then, probably 18 months ago or so, I thought, well, we'll have another go. And it wasn't too bad, I got to admit. We were doing okay, but we were still losing points hand over fist. And then I had a computer freeze up and die completely. So that cost me, and the other old desktop that I was using wouldn't run the sim. Just whenever you open the sim up on it, it would tell you that this machine's not good enough. It won't run it, and it wouldn't run it. So I ended up getting hold of a little laptop which seems to be running it okay most days, but it overheats a lot. And so this week we've had a situation in the good old South Australia, especially in Berrytown, where we've had 40 odd degrees on some days, high 30s on others. I'm talking about C here, Celsius, not Fahrenheit. And even though we've got air conditioning on in the room and everything, the poor old laptop just couldn't handle it. So I've had to sit back a couple of times. In fact, it's been so hot that it's all freezed up and locked me out and shut down. And so my journey to A-class license has had to take a bit of a break. And whenever I make a decision like I did today to jump in the next race, I don't know what that ring is in the background, to jump into the next race that came up in the Mazda or the Toyota, and this was it. I did forfeit out of a race a couple of weeks ago due to a problem behind the scenes, and it cost me a lot. Also, when the computer has frozen up and locked me out of everything, and it has actually cost me a lot because it treats it as if you forfeited, and that's not fun.
Incident in Redman Corner. It looks like Gosso. Incident in Hobbs. You think it might be Gosso?
I don't normally like hearing about incidences because it means people's runs are over sometimes, but to be blatantly honest, I'd like a bit of an incident now, just to give me a bit of a break and get a little bit closer to them all. But I'm not going to pick up a positive I rating out of this, sitting at the back like there's so many so far behind. I don't know whether that scream out about leader pitting now is actually real or not. So as you can see, I'm just making sure I don't get off track, so I don't want to get tangled up in anything off the racetrack. Happy to just try and do laps between the white lines and make it all happen. Anyway, so the journey so far hasn't been all that smooth back to the A. The other thing I'm learning is what to do with this attempt at YouTube information. It's a lot to learn. I've still got to learn how they split the screen up into to show what's happening on track. I've seen a few YouTube streaming people do that, and although at times it's distracting, it does add to the broadcast or to the recording. The other thing is having a bit of a look at the person who's sitting at the steering wheel. In my case, that's probably not a pretty sight, so you're not missing anything there. But I watched the stream today from another fellow I like to keep an eye on, and that's Dan Cross, and he had a bit of a bad run, a bit like I had here, except he had a bit of a spin on his own, caused him some angst. Not in the Mazda though. It's a little bit embarrassing to be failing in the Mazda, I gotta say, considering how this was the first car that you get to drive in iRacing, and I've been around for about 12 years. You would think, but I wouldn't make a mistake in a Mazda in the rookie class.
That's the list.
optimal.
Right, the guy ahead of us is Baldwin. Push, we can get this guy.
To be honest, Jim, I don't think we really need to get him. We just need to stay out of trouble. 147. I just think I'm getting on the brakes too hard and getting on the power too late. Sometimes my gear changes are not quite right. And I don't really know why I'm starting to do that, because I was a lot better. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's age, reflexes, attitude. Sounds like, or looks like somebody's not happy. Trailing ahead of Cravens anyway, he's 8.8 behind.
You're reeling Baldwin in. The gap's now 3.9. You've just done a 148.49. Sector 1 is 3.2 off the pace. Sector 2 is
I don't know why Ian's so slow.
pace. Sector 3 times okay.
I know I'm way off the pace.
Incident in Piper. Looks like it's Sexton.
Still reckon they've changed the tyre model on this car as well, and it screams the tyres a little bit louder than it used to.
You think it might be Sexton?
Oh, another one that can't hold his brakes when he goes off. It's getting ridiculous. Basic skills, guys, come on. Skills and respect.
The car in front of us is Gosso. Okay, Trevor, keep it nice and smooth. Come on, let the race come to us. E9.
And standard AI messages are a bit of a giggle, aren't they? Let the race come to us. I don't think that's going to happen, Jimmy. Need a few more to go off and have some incidences so I can at least climb it a little bit more.
Incident in first corner. We think it might be Bierman.
Nearly forgot to change down then. I was Thinking about that bling, and I reckon it's that AI thing I put on this morning, which is actually quite good. And I've had it before and didn't like it, but it seems to be working better now with the upgrades that they've done to it. Can't remember what it's called, but you can get the telemetry of all your gear changes and where you use the brake, and it should make a difference, because I'm sure I'm braking too heavy and too early. I often have people going, hey, you're braking too early. But having said that, I rarely have people running in the back of me. Of course, we're often told slow in, fast out. Way to go. The 148s, I'm not up there with the top of the tree, to be honest.
There's an incident in last corner. It looks like it's Garceau.
Garceau. Wonder who he may be.
Alright, Trevor, the next car is Garceau.
Well, he's not one that I'm going to have a win with. Gaza. Could you have to change your name, wouldn't you, at the moment? You wouldn't want that. He's that far ahead, he's not going to create any opportunities for me to get past. In fact, he's pulling away again, so... we have one lap this time. Yep, white flag.
Last lap.
Frame rate's gone to the bottom again. They're going to lose a lot of iRating here. Probably lose a bit of safety rating as well, I would think. Sure, there's a way the algorithm could work it out whether you were at fault or not. Like in that situation where a car driver doesn't put his foot on the brake and hold the car as it's rolling back in front of the rest of the field, that should not be a penalty to anybody else on a racetrack that hits him, because he's created that for being absolutely lazy and not thinking about the situation he's in. Anyway, there's a checkered flag. Looks like we do a lot of iRacing points. Not happy.
P9, that's it. We're done.
Alright, it's checkered flag. Great job, driver.
Yeah, great job, driver. Not quite. Anyway, they're all home, I would think. Yeah, I'm the last one standing. So we'll pull up. We'll get out. We'll stop and we'll see what we can find. Oop, there's an incident. It's certainly not me. Alright, I'm just wondering if we can find our way back to lap 1 somehow. Pause. So we're away. So we're away, and everybody's away. What happens with this? So we're all getting good there, a little bit of incident going on there. I was slow to get away because of the fact that I haven't got a clutch working on this machine. And here it is, he comes along and he just rolls straight out in front of everybody. And another one belts into you as well, and that causes the problem. So that was an incident there. Not very nice at all. Now what else happened in the craziness here? So it looks like there might be an incident here. Yeah, 1.5 a loss and 1 lost control. Let's go to this one. Stephen Cravens. What's he going to do? Got one parked up there having a look. Nothing. We've got an incident here. One running off. This is looking fairly innocent. Yeah, that's innocent. That's innocent. He's gone around in front of everybody and held his position. Then got clear, so a good move there by that gentleman. Zane Beerman with the rainbow car, putting some pressure on. It's a bit of a blinker. Don't like blinkers. Yeah, he keeps blinking. The dive to the top of the line, straight up the hill. It's quite a climb. No turn back there, so looks as if all in all it wasn't such a terrible race. Okay, enough doing. Alright, we'll stop the replay there and we will climb out. And it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. 0.04 in safety rating and 51 in iRating. That's pretty atrocious. None of it my doing. Pretty upset about it. It's devastating. But anyway, at least I was running to the end. So in safety rating, I should say in safety rating, I'm not too badly off. I've minus 51 there. So yeah, it's sad. But anyway, we will do better next time. We'll go and find another race, shall we? Thanks for being here. And well, just goes to show that you can't have it all your own way sometimes, can you? We'll see you soon.